Every time you open a new Claude Code session, it forgets everything. The research you did last week, the video idea you had 3 days ago, the context behind what you were building halfway through. You start from scratch every single time. And as a creator doing any kind of volume, that's not just annoying, it's costing you ideas and hours every week. There's a free tool called Obsidian that fixes this. It's a local folder of markdown files with a command line interface, and Claude Code can read it, write to it, and search it natively with zero extra setup. In this video, I'll show you how to build a creator vault inside Obsidian, connect it to Claude Code, and have every session start already knowing your full content pipeline every single time. Here's the thing, nobody talks about when they're hyping up Claude Code. Every session starts from zero. There is no persistent memory. Whatever you figured out last session, the research you compiled, the video ideas you were developing, the context behind the project you were halfway through, it's gone when the session ends. For someone making one project, that's manageable. For a creator running a content pipeline, multiple ideas being researched at different stages, competitor videos analyzed, transcriptions sitting in folders, content briefs half built. This is a real problem. You spend the first 10 minutes of every session re-explaining your situation. Research you did falls out of the workflow. Ideas you had at midnight that you typed into your notes go nowhere because they never made it into Claude's context. The fix is a tool called Obsidian, and the reason it works where every other notes app fails is one thing. It's just a folder of plain markdown files. No proprietary format, no cloud sync to configure. Claude Code reads markdown natively, which means once Obsidian is connected to your setup, every session starts already knowing your full content pipeline, your ideas, your research, what's in progress. Before we set anything up, let me explain what Obsidian actually is, because it sounds more complicated than it is, and the reason it works so well with Claude Code is worth understanding. Obsidian is a desktop app. You install it, point it at a folder on your computer, and that folder becomes your vault. Inside the vault, every note is just a plain markdown file, a .md file. That's the whole thing. A folder of text files with a clean interface on top. Why does that matter? Because Markdown is exactly how Claude Code stores and reads its own context. Claude.md, memory files, skill docs. Claude reads and writes Markdown natively, without any conversion, without any plugin, without any API call. When you point Claude Code at your Obsidian vault, it can open any note, add to it, search across all of them, and move files between folders, all from a simple plain English instruction, no integration required. The second piece is the CLI. Obsidian has a command line interface, meaning you can run commands to interact with your vault directly from the terminal. Once Claude Code knows the CLI commands, it can do things in your vault programmatically. Create a new idea note, move it to in research when you start developing it, mark it content doc ready when the brief is done. All automatic. You don't touch the file system manually. Download it free at obsidian.md. Desktop app, Mac and Windows both covered. No subscription needed for what we're doing here. But now let's set up your creator vault. Setting this up takes about 5 minutes. The folder structure is what makes it powerful. Instead of a generic dump of notes, you're building a content pipeline that Claude Code can navigate and act on. Here's the structure I use. Inbox, where raw ideas land first, anything you capture quickly, a topic that came to mind, a video someone sent you, a half-formed thought at midnight, no formatting required. Claude cleans it up and files it. Ideas, developed concepts with a working title and a rough angle, worth developing but not yet in active research. In research, ideas you've committed to. This is where research notes, source links, transcription snippets, and competitor analysis live. Content doc ready. The idea has been fully researched, and the content brief is written, ready to move to filming, in production, currently being filmed or edited, published, done, archived for reference, and future content recycling. One extra folder, resources. Evergreen reference material, your brand voice notes, recurring prompt templates, channel statistics, anything Claude should always be able to access regardless of which idea you're working on. To build this, open Claude Code, give it your Obsidian vault path and say, create this folder structure in my vault and add a README explaining what each folder is for. It builds all folders and the README in about 10 seconds. Claude reads that README at the start of every session to orient itself immediately. But now let's connect Claude to Vault Connecting Claude Code to the vault is one step. Open your Claude Code, your project one if you want this for a specific project only, or your global one if you want it available across every Claude Code session you ever open. I recommend the global one. Your content pipeline isn't project specific, it's always relevant. And add this line: my content vault lives at your vault path. At the start of every session, read the vault README. Check the inbox for new items, summarize what's currently in research and in production, and flag anything that's moved to content doc ready since the last session. That's it. From this point forward, every Claude Code session opens by scanning your vault. New ideas captured, what's in research, what's ready to film, what needs attention. You don't ask for it. Full orientation in about 15 seconds, every single session. Now install the Obsidian CLI skill. This is the thing that takes Claude from being able to read your vault to being able to act on it. Without the skill, Claude can see your notes. With it, Claude can create new notes, move files between folders, search across your entire vault, and update note content, all from a plain English instruction. One setting to confirm. Open Obsidian, go to Settings, General, scroll to the bottom, CLI Accessibility toggled on. Without this, the CLI commands won't fire, and Claude can read but not touch anything. Test it, close Claude Code, open a fresh session, and ask Claude to give the fault brief. If you see it, you're connected. If not, check the CLI accessibility setting first, then double check the vault path you put in Claude Code. Here's the workflow live. This is what using this actually looks like day to day. I'm going to give Claude Code a raw video idea the way I actually capture them. Rough, half-formed. Video idea. Creators are using Obsidian to store their video research, and Claude keeps losing context between sessions. Nobody's shown the content creator workflow for this yet. I tell Claude, this just came to me. File it in ideas and flesh it out. Add a working title and a one-line angle based on what you know about my channel. Watch what it creates. A new markdown file in the ideas folder. Working title at the top, one-line angle statement, an empty research links section, a status tag set to ideas, and a date stamp. The idea is in the system, not in Apple Notes, not in a voice memo that dies on my phone. It's in the vault, findable, structured, and Claude knows it exists from this session forward. Now I decide this one is worth developing. I tell Claude, move the Obsidian idea to in research and start pulling sources. Who's already covered this on YouTube? What's their view count? What angle are they missing? Claude pulls sources, adds the research notes directly into the file, competitor titles, view counts, gaps in coverage, and moves the file to the in research folder. What would take 20 minutes of manual research just happened in one instruction. Now I close the session entirely, open a new one the next day. Claude immediately reads the vault and gives me the idea title, the angle, and a summary of everything we found last session. Not a blank screen, not a re-explain. The pickup exactly where we stopped. But now let's import your existing research, and two things left. First, if you have existing research sitting in folders right now, here's how to bring it in so Claude can actually use it. Tell Claude Code, I have a folder of files at path, transcriptions, PDFs, competitor notes. Go through each one, extract the key information, and create a clean markdown summary of each in my resources folder. Claude reads every file, strips the metadata, timestamps, and filler, keeps the points that actually matter, and creates a titled markdown note it can reference in any future session. Scattered research becomes searchable context overnight. Works for transcriptions, PDFs, Google Docs exported as text, anything you can point Claude at. For long PDFs, 50, 100-page documents, tell Claude to break it into sections first, summarize each section, then merge the key points into one cheat sheet note. That's the cleanest way to handle heavy files without losing the signal. Second, 3 daily/commands that run your pipeline without you touching the vault manually. /daily. Claude scans every folder, tells you what's in each stage, what moved since yesterday, and what needs attention today. You open a session already oriented instead of spending the first 10 minutes getting your bearings. /capture. Say an idea in plain English and Claude files it in inbox immediately. No formatting required. Best used mid-workflow or from your phone when you don't want to break focus. /pipeline. Claude flags whatever has been sitting in research longest without moving forward. This is the one that actually saves ideas from dying quietly in a folder. the other two are useful, this one is necessary. Also, if you want all the free resources, check out the school community, link in the description. And if you want to see how to use Claude Design integrated into Claude Code, no usage ceiling, image generation built in, and more skills than the original, all running on your max plan, click the video on screen.